Hi, this is Eco-Friendly Parents. So this quick start guide is designed for parents who currently have kids in disposables who are curious about switching to cloth diapering either for diaper rash or to save money or for the environment, who aren't sure where to begin and want to try it out but don't want to commit to a whole set. So basically what we did here is we chose 3 diapers. Each one of them is a different type. They're all extremely highly rated. And what we recommend is you can buy one or you can buy all 3 depending on what you decide. Try it out for a week. Worst case, at the end of the week, you can keep this as a backup in your car at your in-laws' house. Best case, you might want to continue pursuing cloth diapering and enjoying all the benefits of it. So one thing we do recommend when you try it out is, try to get your baby to poop in it. Make sure that you've tested overnight. And try to get every scenario that you can think of, like maybe your baby crawling or playing vertically or sitting in the high chair. Because what I noticed for my daughter was certain brands, when she sat in the high chair, she would leak. And at the end of the week, you'll be able to decide if that's a good fit for your child, if you want to continue with cloth diapering, or if you need to investigate other brands. So nowadays they do very wide weight range in these diapers. So for example, this Rumperus does 6 to 35 pounds. And this Blueberry comes in 2 sizes. Newborn goes up to 16 pounds. And the regular goes from 12 to 35. So how they're able to do this is that they're made up of snaps. So you have vertical snaps here. So this will tighten around your baby's leg. And then you have horizontal snaps to tighten around the waist. Just a little note, there are brands that have Velcro, but usually when they have Velcro, then the diapers tend to come in 4 sizes instead of 1 or 2. So they'll have newborn, small, medium, large. So the diaper I really recommend if you're very intimidated about cloth diapering is the Blueberry Simplex All-in-One Cotton, not the organic cotton. I'll tell you why in a second. So what is an all-in-one diaper? These are the best for daycare, best for babysitters. Why? Because there's nothing to do. You don't have to assemble everything. It's all one piece. The thing about this cloth diaper, it has a cotton layer here. This is great when you're potty training because it will feel wet against your baby's skin. But then it has this piece of material that comes out. This is fleece. The funny thing about fleece is that urine will pass through and the cotton will feel soaking wet, but the fleece will feel dry against your baby's skin. So this is especially important overnight. Why I told you to buy the cotton version is because the organic cotton doesn't come with the fleece, because they're assuming that your baby has a very, very particular bum that's very sensitive to fleece. Just to note, fleece is made of polyester, but from what I've come across, very few babies actually have a problem with fleece. If you're really curious and you don't want to buy this, you wanted to buy the organic cotton, I would recommend before buying the diaper, go to a fabric store, buy a piece of fleece, cut it, put it inside your disposable, and see how your baby's bum does with it. If there's no problem, then I would buy this diaper instead of the organic cotton. Just a couple more things. This is the only diaper my daughter did not leak in. She's what's known as a heavy wetter. The other thing that's great about this diaper is it does come with a pocket here. And because my daughter sleeps 12 hours at night, I actually purchased any insert. This is just a cheap Bum Genius one, and I do add it overnight for those long 12-hour sleeps. So that's the simplest one to use. The next one is what's called a pocket diaper. This is the Rumperus Pocket Diaper G2, Generation 2. This is known as like the Cadillac of diapers versus this guy is the diaper that all the mommies on their review video said, I wish I had known about this when I got started. So this one, what is a pocket diaper? Basically, it's a diaper that has a little pocket that is stuffed with what they call an insert. So similar to the all-in-one we saw, there's a material on the top similar to fleece. This is called micro chamois. It's also polyester. So this will keep your baby's bum dry. And then underneath they have a synthetic microfiber material that will absorb the liquid. Now this diaper comes with 2 inserts, one for when your baby's a bigger size, which can be adjusted depending on the diaper setting with the snaps. And it also comes with a newborn one. For nighttime, I recommend that you put both together. And when you have a smaller size, where you fold it, for a boy, the fold will go in the front of the diaper, and for a girl in the back for better absorbency. Another great thing about this diaper is that it has a double gusset. This is actually great for holding poop in, especially if your baby is moving a lot on the floor. This is by far the best pocket diaper that I came across. The only thing that I don't like about pocket diapers is that if your baby does have some sort of reaction, then you have to layer the insert and it moves around, and daycares will completely reject this diaper. It's hard for you to put on your baby. These diapers actually can be used in daycare as long as you pre-assemble them. So again, if you think your kid might be sensitive to this type of material, the micro chamois or fleece, go to a fabric store, buy a piece of fleece, try it in a disposable diaper, see if there's a problem before you invest in an actual diaper. The third diaper, this diaper is great for nighttime, as well as if you have a baby that seems to be allergic to every material. Okay, so this is actually a diaper cover. See, it's a cover, and then it has an insert that you put in. So this is the Blueberry Capri. It's very similar to the Flip, which you might come across, but my husband and I found that the flaps on the Capri really hold the insert inside. So this diaper will often be rejected by daycares because there's some assembly. If your kid moves, it's harder to get it on, and they just don't have the time for that. So some people, what they'll do actually is they'll use this diaper overnight, and they'll use, sorry about that. Let's just wait till she's done. You done, Leia? Yeah? Okay, so some people will use this diaper overnight for those 12-hour stretches. Maybe their kid is sensitive to the wetness at night, and that's what's causing the diaper rash. And then in the daytime, they'll stick with the all-in-one. So the great thing about this, again, is that you can change what goes inside. So what they usually come either as an insert or what they call a pre-fold. So an insert basically is the width of the diaper, and you insert it into the diaper. A pre-fold, this is usually materials like cotton. So what happens is they'll like layer 10 layers of cotton on top of each other, and then the cotton takes really long to dry, especially when it's layered like that. So rather than putting 30 layers on top of each other, they do 10, and then you have to fold it before putting it in the diaper. Hence the term pre-fold, because you pre-fold it and you put it in the diaper. So to get started, I recommend trying the Capri insert. This insert is special because similar to the diaper, you have a cotton layer, and then you have a layer here that has cotton and it has fleece on top. So this way you can try the fleece on your baby's skin, and if you don't like it, you can flip it. If your child is sensitive to that, then you can go and buy organic cotton. This is organic cotton. They also have hemp. The problem I found with hemp is it really absorbs the water, but it takes forever to dry. When I put it in the dryer, I had to run 3 cycles, and it was still a little moist. And there's bamboo, and then some companies have the microfiber. Just a warning that microfiber cannot be placed directly against your child's skin. It absorbs liquid in a way that sometimes it will takes so much liquid away, it will dry out your baby's skin, and it's really rough. So it can scratch your baby's skin. On top of it, it's synthetic, so it's not the greatest thing to put against your baby's skin. So when I started out, I had bought one of these microfibers, and then I found out after the fact that I can't put it directly against my baby's skin. So I went to a fabric store and I bought a piece of fleece, just like I described before. And then I'm able to layer it like this, and now my baby's skin does not touch that synthetic microfiber material. And actually, like, this is the driest I've ever felt her bum. So those are the different types of inserts you may want to try out if your baby's having weird diaper rash issues. Otherwise, again, I recommend you go with the Capri insert. I wish I had known about this insert before I bought all the others. So the final thing is, in terms of purchasing, is I would recommend that you purchase, this is a wet dry bag. This one will fit up to 5 diapers. If you choose not to diaper, this is great for beach wear. So the front of it, it's called the dry section. This is where you put your dry diapers. And then the back section is the wet section. You can see it's waterproof. This is made of the same material as diapers, so the whole bag will go into the machine. So this is great for when you're out of the house. And I recommended this one because it's smaller, and you may decide that you don't want to invest in a big bag now. And then later on, when you decide that you're going to do cloth diapering, you can buy a big one that goes in a diaper pail. So this will be good for you, again, if you want to go to the beach. It's a good thing to have. In terms of soap, we put a list of soaps you can use. Some of them you can use with your everyday laundry, like Nature Clean. That one you can actually get at grocery stores, but some of them are the diaper brands, and those ones work extremely well. They're extremely healthy. The final thing to discuss is poop. So everyone is so scared about, how do I handle poop? So depends on the type of poop. At the beginning, when your baby's breast milk fed or formula fed, it usually is that liquidy with the seeds. So liquid is no problem. The machine will handle it. You just throw it in. If you really want, you can like swipe a little bit off with a tissue and flush that down the toilet. When it's solid, it's very easy too. You just like flick it into the toilet, maybe with a piece of toilet paper. The harder one is when it's like that texture, almost like peanut butter. So then you have to scrape a bit with some toilet paper or Kleenex, and then whatever else will go in the machine. There's another thing you can do, which I sometimes do with my daughter because she has predictable poops. They sell these huge things from Bummies and Grovia. They have about a couple hundred flushable, these are flushable liners. So what you can do is you take one and you can fold it into the diaper, and then your kid poops on it. You take this, you flush it down the toilet, and then the diaper goes right into the wash. It's actually a lot easier than I thought it would be with the poop. The hardest is when you're starting solids, and some days the poop is solid, then the next day it's that peanut buttery texture. So that's when it's harder to clean, and easy to clean with the all-in-one and with the pocket diaper, but with the inserts it's difficult because the insert moves around as you're trying to clean it off. I think that's basically it to get you started. Oh, just one more thing about diaper rash. A lot of the diapers, you can't use diaper rash cream on it because things like the petroleum, which first of all is not good for your baby's skin, can ruin the diapers. So some companies, Rumper's does sell, where's Rumper's? They actually sell these liners you can buy. It's just like a fleece liner, which you can try that also in your disposable if you don't go to a fabric store. And they recommend to use that if you're using some of those stronger, like Zinco Fax diaper rash creams. I actually use homemade stuff that I make with coconut oil and essential oils. So, and she's only had maybe 2 diaper rashes her whole Life, even though she has very light skin, very sensitive skin. I've always used those because it's antifungal, antibacterial, and those ones don't seem to damage the diaper. So now you're pretty much ready to get started. I also chose a company where I order a lot of my diapers from. You'll see the link for Lagoon Baby. And the reason I chose them is they have all the brands, they have the bag, they have, I think it's free shipping if you order $99. It's in Canada. And basically they have everything you need to soak too. So it's a good place to order your first set of diapers. And yeah, so I would order from there, try them out for a week, try to get your baby in all the situations you can think of. Don't forget the car seat. And that's it. And then have fun with it. If you have any questions, you can shoot us an email. And I hope you enjoy them as much as we've enjoyed them. Okay, thank you very much.